I'll begin this video by showing you how to convert strings to numbers. Here I have the code that I ended the previous video with. Essentially, what I want to do in this code is to convert the string value that gets returned from these 4 prompts into numbers. There are multiple ways of doing this, and I'll just show you a couple of the most common ones, and then I'll update this code with those different ways of converting the string data type to the number data type. Let me begin by cutting this game's code from the console. Next, I'll add the type of operator, and inside its parentheses, I'll add the number 5. I get a hint in the browser showing that this value, if the code was executed, would be reported as being the number data type. Now, if I put double quotes around the number 5, I get a hint that's showing it as the string data type. The same thing happens if I use single quotes instead of double quotes. Alright, so let me now show you how to convert this string data type to a number. So I'll delete this typeof here and just keep the string value. I'll now surround the string value in a pair of parentheses. Note that the browser is hinting at this string of 5 here being evaluated as a string of 5. Okay, so you've already learned all of this previously, and after this quick revision, let me show you what happens with this code when I type word number with a capital N without parentheses in front of it. Again, this hinting functionality gets turned on, and now the console is hinting that this code will evaluate to a number of 5. So this is one way of converting a string to a number. Another way to do it is to add a plus sign instead of this number keyword right here. So this is shorter, and perhaps it looks a bit confusing if you're not familiar with it. But now you are familiar with it, and there's no need for confusion. It really is as simple as that. Okay, so now, just to make sure that you fully understand this, let me add it to the type of operator again. So now I'm taking this entire piece of code here, the plus, the parentheses, and the string of 5, so everything, and I'm wrapping it in an outer pair of parentheses, and I'm adding the type of operator to the left of it. Again, I'm getting a hint that this thing inside the type of operator's parentheses is of the number data type. And if I replace the plus character right here with the word number with the uppercase N letter, the result is still the same. Okay, so now that you're familiar with how to convert the string data type to a number data type, let me now show you how to update the game's code from the previous video. I'll press the up arrow to get to the previous code, and now I can start the updates. Let me add a comment right here inside the first if statement, just above the first variable declaration. So I type a /, an asterisk, and that code that I've used just now. And now I can close the comment with a multi-line comments closing delimiter. Perhaps you didn't think about it, but the multi-line comment can also be used on a single line of code. Anyway, there's another kind of comment in JavaScript. It's named single line comment, and it is 2 / at the beginning of the comment. The single line comment has only the starting delimiter. The closing delimiter is not needed since it just comments out an entire line of code, and it doesn't work for the next line of code. Okay, anyway, now that I've got the commented out example of code that converts a string data type to a number right here, I can use it as a reference to update the result of the prompt on this line below. So like I've mentioned earlier, this whole thing, this prompt and then the string please enter the first number surrounded in parentheses, so this whole thing will end up being the value of a single number that the user typed into the input on the prompt pop-up. Imagine that the user typed the number 5. The prompt would then return that as the value of the string of 5. And thus, this line of code would effectively be as follows. Let num1 equals the string of 5. So what I need to do here is take the string of 5 and convert it. But it's actually not the string of 5, at least not yet. It might be once the user types into the input, but for now, it's just a prompt showing the instruction of please enter the first number, and a temporarily empty input field waiting for the user to type the number into it. This means that I need to surround the entire prompt here with its string in a pair of parentheses, and just like in the conversion example in the comment, surround everything in parentheses and add the number keyword in front of it. And of course, I'm still assigning the result of this to the num1 variable. Okay, so now let's use the alternative approach to the value that ends up being assigned to the num2 variable. Here I'm wrapping the entire prompt and its parentheses and the string inside of them into an external pair of parentheses. And then I'll add the plus character in front of these parentheses. After the second update to my existing code, I'll press the Enter key to run the app and see if the previously buggy behavior is fixed. So the app is ran, I press the number 1 to choose the old game, then in the next prompt I type the value of 5 for the first number, and finally the value of 10 for the second number. And the app correctly reports that num1 is less than num2. So my code works.